We are the 99%. At first glance, it would seem as if the 99% would have an upper hand against the 1. But in reality, we barely even put up a fight. The richest 1% now collectively owns over a third of U.S. net worth, while the richest 0.01% is at a record high.
In September of 2011, a small group of individuals occupied Wall Street. The Occupy movement quickly spread to cities and towns across the world, including the community of the Bay Area in California.
No, listen, Bill, I have no trouble understanding what they're complaining about. They're complaining about the fact that Wall Street wrecked the economy 3 years ago, and nobody's held responsible for that. They're upset about the fact that Wall Street has iron control over the economic policies of this country, and that one party is a wholly owned subsidiary of Wall Street, and the other party caters to them as well. That's the real truth of the matter, as you said before.
Get the man a bongo drum. They found their spokesman.
We invite you to come join us. At General Assembly.
A reminder that is the protest site, and that's
the free speech movement of the 60s and that started in Berkeley has provided a very strong foundation for the Occupy movement that's going on now.
The big difference, I think, between Occupy movement right now and free speech had a real specific demands that they wanted, and there was leadership.
The free speech movement in the 1960s proved that utilizing the right to assemble was an effective form of protest.
And I tell you something, the faculty are a bunch of employees, and we're the raw material.
Yet in the 60s, people marched alongside with courageous leadership.
I don't know any leadership, and I don't know if they ever had any demands. So how do you satisfy anybody if you don't know what the demands are? Whereas the free speech movement, they had a list of demands.
That's the dilemma law enforcement faces now, because there is no specific leader or spokesperson, as perhaps a speaker or someone who can articulate their views or thoughts, but they're not speaking for the group. And when you don't have that kind of leadership that you can establish a relationship with so that you know what the game plan is, it makes it very, very challenging for law enforcement.
General assemblies have lasted for between 5 and 8 hours over the last several days, with people continuing to debate the matter of whether it's a good idea or not.
In efforts to remove the Occupy camp from out of the public eye, the mayor of San Francisco has offered to reduce the amount of police force, in exchange that the protesters move their camp to 16th and Mission Street. The decision whether to stay or to move has caused a divide within the camp, splitting the community into two.
The mayor's offering Occupy a space with no fear of police raid. There's a group of us, about 27, that want to make it happen. A large group here doesn't want it to happen. They don't like it. They think 16 and Mission will put us out of the spotlight.
The only way we're going to get change is by continuing to make life a little uncomfortable for those who don't like the idea of a tent being set up in a location where there's a lot of visibility, and by isolating them to a location where they don't get the kind of publicity and it just becomes a place for them to sleep.
So they have this very poetic, very beautiful thing called mic check, which is a call and response, very simple call and response to get a message you know, without amplification over a large group of people.
I'm not privy to that.
This tent, not those two, was not allowed to be here. By the person who owns it. You can put up as many tents as you want. But not this one. I'm sorry, guys.
It's the tents aren't allowed here, sir.
Hold on.
So
let me.
What do you think the arrangement is?
That we have a First Amendment right to freedom of assembly.
Okay, and you can assemble fine, but the tents have to go.
Am I being detained?
I'm talking to you right now. Do you wish to leave right now? Do you wish to leave right now?
Grandmother's watching.
Sir, do you wish to leave right now?
More tents! More tents!
There's a change, there's a shift.
Police! Whose police? Our police!
And there's chanting, and you know, then the police start looking around and they start sensing that the movement is bigger than their weapons.
I'm more energized than ever now. I take this as a personal attack against my civil rights, against my human rights.
A lot of people ended up in the street here. The police were violent. They were attacking with batons. They were.
I estimate around 1:30. You know, from what I've gathered, I was sleeping. I heard raid, raid, raid. I looked out this back window of the pink tent, the communications tent, and I saw a row of cops. I got to hand it to them. You know, they snuck up on us pretty well. You know, it was just pretty chaotic.
By coming together and occupying a shared space, a message becomes stronger. A message is able to spread through words, actions, and the determination of motivated groups and individuals.
To reclaim our space.
The courts have continually, you know, chopped away at our rights.
What do you do? Stand up, fight back. When the people are under attack, what do you do? Stand up, fight back. When Occupy is under attack, what do you do? Stand up, fight back. When Occupy is under attack, what do you do? Stand up, fight back.
We're still going to be out here, you know, we're still going to assemble.
When the people are under attack, what do you do? Stand up, fight back. When Occupy.
Even when separated from a physical space, the bond created by people uniting for a shared belief is unchanged.